Hello friends, welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to look into how we can highlight or shade the data points in a visual using DAX. Let me actually walk through the real-time problem here. For example, you are showing the sales over period and you want to highlight the current month sales. Not actually highlight or conditional formatting, but you want to have a shaded area for the current month, or the similar could be for the future months as well. This was a question posted on Power BI community forum. Let's get to Power BI and start looking into the solution. So here in Power BI, what I have is a sales or a production or whatever you want to call it over a period of time. And let's say the ask here is we are in October right now, and the ask here is to highlight the current month data points or shade the data points. Again, I want to make sure it's clear. It's not conditional formatting. It is how we can highlight or shade the area for the current month. So let's start writing a DAX here. I don't want to go into the data model. It's pretty straightforward. We have a calendar table and we have a transaction table, and calendar table is on x-axis, and the data points are just a sum of production column. To highlight, let's write a new measure. The first thing what we need to find out our date range for the current month, which we can do based on that today's date. So let's write down a measure. The measure name, we can call it current month highlight. So what we need to do here is first we need to find out the start date and the end date of the current month, which is pretty straightforward. The start date of current month, we can do it based on end of month function. There are a lot of time intelligence videos I did on DAX, time intelligence DAX function. Do check out the functionality of end of month. Basically, it takes a date parameter and then the number of months you want to go forward or backward. In this case, we want to get the first date of the month. So what we can do is we can go 1 month back. So that will give us the last date of September, and add 1 to this, and it will give us the first day of October. So this will be October 2022. And now end date of current month would be similar thing, end of month today. 0 means current month, and that will give us the end of month of October. Now what we need is, now we know our start date and end month which we want to highlight or shade. What we just need to do here is create a date table. So let's call it current month date table, which is pretty straightforward. Dates between, again there is a dates between time intelligence video I did, check that out. So that would be our calendar date, start date of the month, and let's make it to the next line, and start date of current month, and that is end of current month. So now what we have a date range what we want to highlight. So next step from here is we need to find out the maximum sales or the production within that date range, because that will be the top level which we wanted to use. So that's pretty straightforward. What we can use is maximum production. I think this is a production in current month. So that will be max x, our day, the table which we created, current month day table, and then the sum production. So what this will give us, this will give us the maximum sales within that range. So let's check the result here. Let's check what we get the maximum production in current month. Let's convert our visual into a table visual to better understand the data. So this is our sum production, and now we bring our new measure which we created. So as you can see, it is giving 300 is the maximum current month highlight, what it says, and the reason why we're getting it for every date, because the dates between will give us the result for the whole calendar period. So if we go in October, that's the maximum sales for the October, and what we need to do is just to return this for the month of current month for October. We can have a condition here: if max of our calendar date in our current month date table, then only return the maximum production in current month. So what does this means is we will only get it for a month of October. As you can see, it's gone for the other months. So now what we have is for the month of October, we have the maximum sales in that month, which is or production in that month, which is 300, and then we are getting for the each date of October, we are getting the highest production within that month. So we're getting 300 for the each October date, and that's what we are looking for. Let's switch it back to the visual, which will be basically a line and a stacked column chart. So as you can see, if I remove this, it's going into, so this is the line chart. So the new measure which we created, we will put it on the line y-axis. So what would that do is it will highlight the area. Why it is getting highlighted? If I go on the format pane, what I did in here is under the markers, actually sorry, not under the markers, under lines, under colors, I had set the shaded area. So if I don't say shaded area, so we are just getting the line. So what this is giving us, this is the top sales within October, and we are getting the 300 pieces production, sorry, not sales, production in that particular month. And now when we say shade area, so what it is doing is shading the area. So what does this means is this is our October sales. When we go to the next month in November, this will switch to the November, this shaded area. So now this is pretty cool. Let's keep on doing, and now let's say there's a requirement to be shade the area in the future months. So we are in October and we want to shade the area for anything after October. So what we can do is let's make a copy of this measure, and because it's going to be similar, new measure, and I'm going to call it future month highlight. And now start date of current month, future month would be last date of October plus 1 day, which will be November 1st. So we will be, this will be our now 0 plus 1. This will give us November. So that's the November date. And now what we need to is end date of current month. So future month. So what would be that? We don't know how many how many number of dates we have for the future. So to calculate this, what we need to do is we need to get the maximum date in our calendar table for all selected dates. So let's say if we selected the year 2022, we want to find out, let's say if our calendar date is up to 30th of November, and what we want is we want the 30th of November. Let's say our calendar is up to 31st of December and we have 2022 selected, so we want the 31st December 2022. And let's say our calendar is in the future, 23-24, year 23-24, and all the years are selected, so we want the last date in our calendar table. So whatever is selected, we want the last date to find out what that is. So this is our last date. Now future month date table, so this is not current, let's call it future month date table. So that is start date of future month and the end date of future month, and rest of the calculation is going to be the same. So we can just change the variable names here. So let's call it maximum production in future month, and that's it. So now if we use this into our visual, let's bring this into our visual as well. So future month. So here you go. So what we have is, if I remove the current month one, so anything after October now has been highlighted, and we can change the colors of this, which colors we want to highlight depending on if we're showing the current and the future in the same time. And so current is, let's say, is a blue, and the future is orange. And now one thing you probably noticed, in the current month our maximum production is 300, and in the future our maximum is 294. So these are, now depending on the use case, this might be the output you're looking for. But if I'm looking at that, okay, I want to highlight the future month as well, but I wanted to have the maximum between my current month and the future month, so that this bar, they both are aligned together, so it looks like at the same height. Right now the height of the current one is 300, that's the maximum, and the height for the future one is 294. But let's say I want the height of the future one also to be 300. What we need to do is we need to tweak our measure a little bit further. So let's do that. So what we need to do is to find out the maximum sales production between the current month and the future month. So we need to tweak this measure a little bit. And the first part what we need to do is, what we can do here is we say, okay, the start date including current month. So we create another variable which is end of the month today -1 +1. So what does this means is we're going back to September 1st and the last date of September, and then we are adding 1 to it. So this will give us the first date of October. And so this is a start date of future month. This is giving us the 1st November, because so this is giving us 1st October, this is 1st November, and this is giving us the last date in the future. So we need to create two date tables here. The first date table we will create is let's call it a current and future month date table. So what does this means is, so we want the dates between calendar date and start date including current month and the end date future months. So this particular calendar will give us a range from 1st October till the end of the calendar, last date of calendar. And the future month date table is giving us starting from 1st November till the end of the calendar table. The reason why we are getting in this one current is October, because we are in the month of October. Everything is anchored based on the today's date. So now we have two dates, current date and the a table with the starting from current month to the end of the date table, and then the future is November till the future end of the calendar table. So now what we need to is maximum production in current in the selected month. So basically let's call it selected month, so which will be not the future month date table but the current and future month date table, because we want to find out between October and all the future months what is the maximum sales or production in this case, because if we look into the future it is 294, and if it is in the current it is 300, and when we are highlighting both the data points they are not aligned together. To align those together we want to increase our range including the current month, and this will basically return a production of 300 pieces. So but rest of the logic will remain the same, and so we will update this measure. So let's see how does that look like now. Here you go. So now this is aligned. So when we go into November, let's say November sales is maximum is 294, and the anything after November is 500. So then in this particular case the actually label will be 500. What we need to do is we need to also probably tweak our current month as well, because if the future months are the more than the current month, and then the alignment will go away once again, because the current month will be at, let's say it's a 300 and the future is 500, the future one will be at the top. Right now we fix the future measure for the future month. Similarly, what we will do is we will fix the measure for the current month. And I'm not going to do that because it's pretty straightforward. It's the same logic what we did in the future sales production highlight area, and that's the same is going to be in the current one. Again, this is a very simple DAX logic here, just finding the date range and getting the data, maximum data, and then using the shading area. And we can mix and match, and this might be help user to highlight the areas and to take the attention. Okay, this is the current month, and we are not using the conditional formatting. I just want to make sure. This is the part one video. In this one we have predefined, okay, whether you want to highlight current month or we want to highlight the future month. In the part two of this video, what we will do is we will let the user select the period or the date, and then that period we will highlight. Anyhow, let me know what you guys think about this video. I hope you learned some DAX functions and date functions, and again, do subscribe my channel. Until next video, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.